Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to run things back here in Madrid as Iga Swiatek and Aryna Sabalenka will meet in the final for a second straight year. What's up, everybody? It's John Eric Poli here to do a preview and prediction of this year's 2024 Women's Madrid Open Final, in which we have a rematch. Iga Swiatek, the world number 1, taking on Aryna Sabalenka, the world number 2, in what was a good final last year, in which Aryna Sabalenka pulled off the upset, beating Iga Swiatek on clay. Now, will Sabalenka win for a second straight year? That's a whole nother animal in itself. So let's get started today by actually talking a little bit about Sabalenka. Now, we all know what's going on in Sabalenka's personal life. That was very well documented, and we're not going to get super far into the weeds of that. But the big thing here was Sabalenka, with everything going on, and rightfully so, wasn't playing her best tennis. But we knew at some point she was going to start tying things together and she was going to start making runs in these types of tournaments because we know how talented she is and how consistent that she could be. We saw that all documented last year. Well, now here we are, very good tournament, making her to the final. But not the prettiest road, though, for Sabalenka. She played in a lot of three-setters in this year's tournament. Now, there was a lot of good competition in there, right? She beats Danielle Collins, who had a 16-match winning streak. Sabalenka is able to beat her in 3 sets, snap that. Then Elena Rybakina, very consistent all year long, coming off a clay championship victory in Germany within the last tournament there. Sabalenka is able to dig down deep and get a win there. And very impressive victory, too, for Sabalenka in that match. She could have said die at any point during that, losing that first set 6-1, being down a break in the second set. But she battles her way back to get the win. So even if things don't go her way on Saturday, I mean, you still got to tip your hat to Aryna Sabalenka and everything that she's done within this tournament just to get to the final. But now on the other side of things, Iga Swiatek, the world number 1. The last few years, we've been calling her, right, the queen of clay. Here she is again in another final on clay. And we know what Iga's record is. Whenever she makes a final, it's very good, right? Was it 19-4, 20-4, something along those lines? She is so dominant once she gets to a final. And I would imagine that that's going to continue on here because just look what Iga's done throughout this tournament. She's getting through it with pretty much ease. She dropped 1 set this whole entire tournament. And that's a lot when Iga wins tournaments too, because a lot of times we see Iga dominate right through. And we've been seeing her pretty much dominate right through. Look what she just did to Madison Keys in the semifinal. Goes absolutely right through, and Keys was playing so good too. So Iga Swiatek is going to be very tough to stop here. And when I did my preview and prediction ahead of this year's Madrid Open, I predicted that Iga Swiatek would win the tournament, and I'm going to stay with that prediction here. I just don't see anybody when it comes to a clay tournament that's going to be a favorite over Iga Swiatek. I'm not saying it can't happen and nobody could beat her. We just saw Elena Rybakina beat her. We saw Aryna Sabalenka beat her last year. But still, when it comes to a clay final, I'm always going to go on the side of Iga Swiatek. So that's my prediction for this. I think Iga Swiatek is going to hold up this year's trophy. And I'm going to imagine she does it in straight sets too. Sabalenka playing so much tennis here in this tournament, so many three-setters. I just think Iga's the fresher player here. I think Iga Swiatek wins this and wins it in straight sets.